Okay, on our interior design house, this page is like a checklist. So as you go along, you're going to make sure you fill things out. Like, for example, is your house folded correctly? Yes, I got it folded correctly. Are there windows and doors drawn on the exterior? Yep, there are windows and doors drawn. Is it a complete exterior design? No, it is not. This is only half done. So I can't check that one off yet. I still need to do that. The next one, when we move on, is the floor plan in the correct location. So if this is your house, if you open these front doors, right here is where your floor plan should be. And you trace it in based off of the paper floor plan you picked. So I've got it in the right spot. Check. Are all the rooms labeled and dimensions given? No, it is just the bare bones. I need to go back and finish this. The main thing we're going to talk about next is the room in the correct location with the room labeled? And then is the room drawn to scale? Basically what we're doing is we've got the outside view of our house. Open this up and we get to see what the whole interior looks like, the whole floor plan. And then we're going to open this up again. And then right here in the middle, we're going to pick one of the rooms from our floor plan and we're going to draw it to scale. To scale means we actually do math so that the lines drawn equal the actual size of the room directly. So if I measured the line across here, I'd be able to know that it is 10 feet wide and actually build the room to that 10 feet wide. So we're going to look at how to draw a room to scale, and then I'll show you how to put it in the right spot. Your packet comes with this awesome back page. We're going to do our math on there. If we look at the second page, though, that explains the details and instructions for each of the steps. For example, for the room, we're going to pick one of the rooms from the floor plan to decorate, preferably something a little bit bigger like a family room or a living room, preferably not a bathroom. You'll need to draw an enlarged version of the room on the bottom half inside of your house using scale. And you're going to have to use the floor plan, this paper, to know the dimensions so you can figure out the scale. Scale is generically 1/4 of an inch of a drawn line on our floor plan equals 1 foot of an actual room. For example, if the floor plan, this room, says 13 feet by 16 feet, we would be drawing a rectangle that is 3¼ feet by 4 feet. 3¼ inches by 4 inches. And then we have to label both of them, both the actual room measurements, 13 by 16, as well as our scaled measurements, 3½ by 4. Okay. This awesome section of paper is available for you to do your math on. So I will explain how this works. There's lots of different floor plans you can pick. Like you could do this one, or you could do this one, or this one. All it is you're going to pick one of the rooms and use the dimensions. This one's the one I actually have traced, so I'm going to go off the great room, because I think it would be more fun to do a great room. You could do a master bathroom, bedroom, or bedroom, your choice. I don't really suggest kitchens either. So my great room is 20 feet, 0 inches by 14 feet, 0 inches. So I'm going to write that on here so I remember what I'm doing. So it's a great room, and it's 20 feet by 14 feet. You can leave off the zeros if you'd like. So our scale is 1 foot equals 1/4 inch. Which basically means I'm going to multiply my feet by 1/4. So if I take 20 feet, if it's a fraction, we need to multiply it like a fraction, multiplied by 1/4. Which, when you multiply fractions, you just go straight across. 20 times 1 is 20. 1 times 4 is 4. So I need 20 quarters. You could have jumped straight there and went I need 20 of these quarters. But 1/4 inches on a ruler, they are pretty small. It helps if you're looking at the inch side. 1/4 inch is pretty small. I will lose count, so I'm going to be more precise, and I'm just going to make this improper fraction, top heavy, into a solid one. And to do that, we're just going to divide 20 by 4. I find it easier to see it this way. 4 times 5 actually gives me 20 solid, which means that would be drawn as 5 inches on my floor plan. So that's this one. 14 feet. So we've got 14 multiplied by 1/4, or you can think of it straight as 14 divided by 4. And I like to write it this way. 4 times 3 gives us 12. And we subtract that, so we have 2 left over. Instead of moving this to the top and turning it into a decimal, I am going to say leave it as 2 divided by 4, because 2 divided by 4 is 2/4. I can easily count out 2/4 of an inch. But this can be simplified because both 2 and 4 can be divided by 2 here, which means I have the same as 1/2. So 1/2 an inch. I need to not forget my whole number over here. So it's 3.5 inches for that wall. So my end scale measurements are 5 inches by 3.5 inches. There we go. Don't forget your quotation marks that denote inches. Okay, if you've done this math, you now can draw it straight into your house, but I am going to example draw it here first, and then we'll go over to the house. So what we're doing is we have this space, and looking side to side, 5 inches fits, up and down 3 inches fits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, here's 0, here's 5 inches, there's me straight line in between. Bring my zeros, and then 3.5 inches is clear down here, so there we go. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Try to make sure this is a 90-degree angle when you do this. You don't want your house to be a diamond. And then right there, it matches 5 inches. So we just draw our line straight across to connect. This is now a drawn to scale room with this side being 5 inches and this side being 3.5 inches. That's the basic. After this point, we're going to make it look more like this room, like actually putting in the door openings and windows and entrance to the kitchen. But that gets you the idea of what we're doing. And you can see that this is much bigger than this, so you'd be able to actually add your furniture and things better. Okay, in your house, we've got the exterior, our floor plan. Lift this up. Right here is where we're putting our room. And we have to copy a lot of this information straight over to get full points. Because our instructions say, hey, we need to label the room. This is the great room. So there's one. I need the actual dimensions, which are 20 feet by 14 feet. That's 2. You can write your scale. You don't actually have to, but it's a very good idea so you remember what it was. 1 foot equals 1/4 inch. And then for a third point here, you need to write your actual measurements for your drawn floor plan, which is 5 inches by 3.25 inches. There we go. And now I just need to draw my square here again. 5 inches is from here to here. I'm just going to double check, make sure, yep, I have space for my 3 inches that way. Be careful that you don't come out here because that's the exterior of your house. There's my 5 inches. Here's 3.5. Here's 3.5. And then right across here, like so, that makes it 5. There we go. I like to make sure I have the inches on each of these like this, so I can remember which side is which. Okay. Your next step is we need to add the doors and windows. For this step, we're not going to be as precise. We can just eyeball and go, this looks like about the same distance over. My door will come out, and then there's the curved track to show where it swings. There's a window in this wall that looks like it's about this long compared to the wall. And there's a window in this wall that looks like it would be right about here, and it's maybe a little smaller. Okay, this corner, we actually lose a section of this corner. So we'd probably come out about this far by about that far. And then these walls, they don't exist. That's an open hallway area. Since they don't exist, I'll erase them. There we go. Now we've got that going on. And then we also have this entrance to the kitchen right here. So I'd say the snack bar comes to about here. Looks like the refrigerator sticks out to about there, with that being the opening to our kitchen. So I'm going to erase that so I know it's an opening. And there we go. Now, I have the bare bones of my room, drawn complete with windows and doors, and all the dimensions labeled. The next step of our room is to actually draw the furniture in and arrange how you want it to look. Okay, we're going to do another example of how to do the math for scale. And we're going to use one of our slightly more complicated rooms. Because we have some rooms that have inches as well as feet, like these ones. So I'm going to explain how I expect you to round for these rooms. So I've got space here and to do my math. Living room is what I'm going to show. It is 19 feet 8 inches by 17 feet 4 inches. Here's how I want you to round inches. We're going to go to the nearest half foot, rounding up if there's more. Basically, we're just rounding up to the nearest half foot. So, by the way, 1 foot is 12 inches. So half of 12 is 6 inches. 6 inches is the number we're looking for here. 8 is greater than 6 inches. So I'm going to round up and say, we're just going to do this room 20 feet. If we look at 17 feet and 4 inches is less than 6. But I don't want to round down to 17 feet because we actually lose room there. So we're going to actually just round to the nearest half foot. So it's 17.5 feet. Idea. Those are the numbers we're going to use for our math. Once again, the scale we're using is 1 foot of actual room equals 1/4 inch, which means we take our feet and we're going to multiply it by our 1/4 inch. But to multiply fractions, it has to be a fraction, and we just go straight across. Which means we have 20 over 4, which is the same as 20 divided by 4. You could just jump to the step of multiplying by 1/4 inch. Multiplying by a fraction is the same as dividing by the whole number. 20 divides into 4 easily. It is 5 inches. That one was easy. For this one, I'm going to say look at just the 17, and then we'll look at the 1/2 later. So we have the same thing of 17 multiplied by 1/4, which is divided by 1. Multiply straight across, and we get 17 divided by 4. 17 doesn't divide into 4 as easy as 20 does, but if you divide it by 4, you end up with it equaling 4, which is 16. Subtract it down and we have 1. This 1 that's left over, instead of moving it up top anywhere, we're going to say we still need to divide this 1 by 4. So I have 1/4 left over. So I'm looking at 4 with 1/4 left over. But I also have this 1/2 up here left over. So we're looking at 1/2 of a foot. So basically we're looking at 1/2 of a foot, and that's supposed to equal 1/2 of a quarter. So we're just going to multiply these together. Multiplying straight across means we have 1/8 of an inch that we would draw for this 1/2 foot. But we need to combine this 1/8 of an inch with our 1/4 inch, and to do that we need common denominators. So we have to multiply this by 2 on both top and the bottom to give us 2/8 of an inch, which then I can add easily to my 1/8 of an inch, which then means I have 3/8 of an inch that I would draw for that line. But don't forget your whole number. So our 3/8 of an inch comes up here to go with that. Our actual room would be drawn 5 inches by 4 3/8 of an inch. My paper is not big enough to show this, so I'll just quickly show. Rulers are different. This one goes by 1/16 of an inch, which means every 2 of these is 3/8. So if I come to 4, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where my 3/8 inch would be. This would be the length of that wall. And then I would draw my 5 inch up from that, but I'm not going to do it up into my math.